Hello folks, this is have an old train from about 1949 that needs transformer repaired, and like many of you know, some train this old and you get your hands on it, this is a 25 watt 120 volt transformer, simple, plain, 2 screws, but you can see what's happened. The whole cord, the covering is like glass. It just cracks and breaks. You can see it. And the trick on this is, how do you get it apart? I finally figured it out. I'm going to try and do this one-handed, so I'm not sure how it's going to come out. But you use a screwdriver, a good strong one, and I've got this partially apart. But the trick is, get the plastic cover, a screwdriver underneath, and you pry on the edges of the plastic cover. You'll see barely room to get in there on the sides. Any sides that you can pry and lift up, and it'll come apart. And it's not between this steel base, but it's under the plastic. And I'll try and do this one-handed and show you how you can replace this wire and put it back together. This is going to be part one of maybe 2 parts. In the meantime, I got my hands on another transformer. It's the old-fashioned kind transformer, and this is a transformer of another, not Lionel. The other one is Lionel original. This is a 50 watt, not a 25 watt, but a 50 watt would work on a 25 watt train engine. And if you don't have a lot of extra things like lights and smoke and so on and so forth on your train engine, it should work. Now the only problem here is the wires are good, except at the very end, if you can see this. So I'm going to have to cut. If I'm going to try and use this one, you can see this is going to have to be cut off few inches back. It's cracking, and you can see at the very end of the plug, you can actually see ready to contact metal to metal. So this plug, it has to be cut off about, hold on, sorry about this, hard to do one-handed or the other. Gonna have to cut about 2-3 inches off of this and then put a new plug on the end. Now, going back to the other one, here's how it comes apart. Once you get that plastic body just pried up from its base, here's how you're going to see how it works. You lift it up, flip it over, there's your transformer. I hope I can do this right. And then there's your base and your transformer, and there's your wires, and they were ready to short out inside. So you'll have to unsolder it and you can put a new lead. Cut off the end of an extension cord, a newer extension cord, solder the new wires back onto those posts. Now, when it's turned upside down, if you can see, I don't know if you can see this or not, there's a strip right here that's got to be covered with this piece of whatever it is glued back onto that strip to cover it when you put it back together. So anyhow, hold on, I'm doing the best I can, sorry. Now, watch how you take it apart. because you're going to need to know how you got it apart. Now, there's a cover. If it was upside down, when you take it off, there's this, oh, I'm sorry, you probably missed that. It's hard to do. There's this protection cover that fits in there like that. Of course, it goes upside down when you put this back on. That's the cover. But that's how you get it apart. And I haven't bothered to take this one apart to figure out how to get it apart. It's another tough one to figure out. But a 50-watt transformer of any make should run, back at that time, should run a 25-watt old 1949, 50 to 55 maybe transformer. And you can save them. A lot of them are, that's all that's really wrong with them. So I hope this came out halfway decent. There may be a part 2 when I'm finished. Thank you for your interest.